This is Uhuru News. Former Emir of Kano, Mohammed Sanusi II, has predicted that Nigeria's economy is about to collapse. This was even as he warned that oil, which he called the Goose, laying the golden egg for Nigeria, is about to die. He made this assertion while speaking at the Day 2 of the Kaduna Investment Summit on Friday. According to him, today, Nigeria is having difficulties in oil production, and noted that the product is now being rejected globally because there is no longer a future in carbon. Sanusi, who was a former governor of the central bank, pointed out that the future lies in a knowledge-based economy. However, lamented that Nigeria is far behind many African countries in the innovation index and ranking 114th globally. According to him, while Ghana, with a smaller economy, invests more in education, Nigeria spends 7% of its budget in that direction, saying that only 8 of every 100 Nigerians who start primary school complete university. Globally, work is being redefined. 30 to 40% of workers in developed economies will need to significantly upgrade their skills by 2030. And what are the major drivers of this redefinition? ICT and remote working, which we have seen even here with COVID. There is increased automation and artificial intelligence. Very soon, robots will take over work in most countries, and those who would have job are those who operate the robots or manufacture the robots or service the robot. And you have decarbonization. For us in Nigeria, the enclave economy that we have, the so-called goose that lays the golden egg, is about to die. There will be no eggs. The future is not in the carbons. A few months ago, Germany was able to produce enough renewable energy for the entire country's need. Today, we are having difficulties selling Nigerian oil. So, not only are we having problems producing, even when we produce, the market is not there. So, this is forcing a change, and for us, a country that depends on oil, things need to change. Nigeria is ranked 114th in the Global Innovation Index. We are lower than other African countries such as Kenya, Rwanda, and Senegal. We are in fact ranked 14th in sub-Saharan Africa. I think we should have this reality check and know where we are as a country. Let's stop calling ourselves the giant of Africa, because we are the giant with clay feet. Countries like Kenya, Rwanda, and Senegal are ahead of us. I am not even talking about South Africa. Our expenditure on education is only 7% of the budget. We are spending less on education than Ghana. I am not talking about as per the percentage of the budget, in absolute terms, even though the Ghanaian economy is much smaller than the Nigerian economy, even though the Ghanaian government revenue is less than Nigerian revenue, Ghana is spending more on education than Nigeria. And we are surprised that industries are moving to Ghana. We are surprised that the Ghanaian president has become the leading president in Africa. We are not investing in education and human capital. We have a 68% missing job requirement, and the major areas being IT, communication, and decision-making. And the completion rate between entry into primary 1 and completing university is 8%, meaning that out of every 100 pupils who go into primary school, only 8 come out of university. And out of those 8, 9%, which is one of the 8, will get a job. So, this is the reality in addition to what is happening globally. Now, digitization to level the playing field is required, if we are deliberate, and we shift from consumption to value creation. But, part of our problem is that, even when we have the solution at our feet, we do not take it, he said. Sanusi also noted that there is a need for skill creation for the young people, which will create enabling environment for economic growth and development. He asserted that data is one of the most crucial support that can be given to entrepreneurs for innovation. If somebody wants to innovate in the health sector, it is to have data of people who use medical service, the location of the hospital, to create and innovate solutions that will provide easy access to healthcare delivery and education. He also stressed there is a need to give data access to the private sector, adding that data support is very important and market access. While calling on the government to encourage market access, he said, if Kaduna state government continues with its e-government plan, it will be a big market itself, and it will encourage investment, which are all knowledge economy aspiration, and a shift in government spending to match the priority, he said. According to him, the job creation in a knowledge economy is not about creating jobs in Kaduna, but equipping citizens with skills to participate in the global economy. You have global platforms now that enable people with development skills to find employment anywhere in the world, which is the future of knowledge economy, he said. Watch the video.
With a slide I referred to yesterday. Now that slide basically tells us why we are going the way we're going. You have countries and their per capita GDP, and we have resource-rich countries and countries that are considered knowledge economies. On the horizontal axis, we have the knowledge intensity. On the vertical axis, we have per capita GDP. And all you have to do is look at the direction of the dots to see that as you become more knowledge intensive, your per capita GDP increases. As an example, look at the countries that we here consider rich countries. Look at Saudi Arabia. Look at Bahrain. Look at Kuwait. We consider these very rich countries, and that's where they are on per capita income. Now compare Saudi Arabia to Singapore, or to Finland, or to Switzerland, or to the US, or even to the United Arab Emirates. You know, we all think Saudi is richer than UAE, but look at the per capita income. And what is the reason? The UAE is further down on the global knowledge index. They are at 58, while Saudi Arabia is at 44. So, if there is any evidence that this is the right path, this is evidence that you need. As you increase the knowledge intensity of your economy, as you rely more on human capital, as you rely more on intellectual capacity and less on natural resources, you reduce poverty and increase per capita income. And that is what you're supposed to do. So, the next slide basically starts with a definition, which we've heard from the Vice President yesterday, on what is a knowledge economy. And we have a number of illustrative definitions. It's one where you have a greater reliance on intellectual capabilities than on physical inputs or natural resources. The OECD defines knowledge-based economy as one where advanced economies are basically moving towards greater dependence on knowledge, information, and high skill levels, while the World Bank defines a knowledge economy as one that creates, disseminates, and uses knowledge to enhance its growth and development. Now, globally, work is being redefined. 30 to 40% of workers in developed economies will need to significantly upgrade their skills and reskill into new occupations by 2030. And what are the major drivers of this redefinition? There's digitization and remote working, which we have seen even here with COVID. There is increased automation and artificial intelligence. Very soon, the robots will take over the work in many countries, and those that will have jobs will be those who are able to operate the robots or manufacture the robots or service the robots. And you have decarbonization. For us in Nigeria, the enclave economy we have, the so-called goose that lays the golden egg is about to die. There will be no eggs. The future is not in hydrocarbons. A few months ago, Germany was able to produce enough renewable energy for its entire country's needs. Today we're having difficulty selling Nigerian oil. The United States, India, they're not buying. So not only are we not able to produce, even if we produce, the market is not there. So this is forcing a change. And for us, a country that has depended on oil, this makes the change even more urgent, more pressing. Now on the right, I have further issues exacerbating the situation with Nigeria. Only 9% of new graduates find employment. So we have an incremental 4.5 million added to the unemployed annually. This is Nigeria. Only 9% of graduates find employment. 41% is the number for youth unemployment, whereas overall we have 27% unemployment among the youth. It is 41%, which is the most serious component of the population, because that's where you have restiveness, that's where you have thuggery, that's where you have crime, that's where you have insecurity. Nigeria is ranked 114th in the Global Innovation Index. We are lower than other African countries such as Kenya, such as Rwanda, and Senegal. We are in fact ranked 14th in sub-Saharan Africa. I think we should have these reality checks and know where we are as a country. Let's not, we continue calling ourselves, what do we call ourselves? The giant of Africa. We're the giant of Africa. We are a giant with clay feet. Okay? So we are 14th in innovation in sub-Saharan Africa. Countries like Senegal and Rwanda and Kenya are ahead of us. I'm not even talking about South Africa. Our federation, our expenditure as a country on education is only 7% of the budget. 7%. We're spending less on education than Ghana. I'm not talking about as a percentage of the budget. In absolute terms, even though the Ghanaian economy is much smaller than the Nigerian economy, even though the Ghanaian government revenue is less than the Nigerian government revenue, Ghana is spending more on education than Nigeria. And we're surprised that companies are moving to Ghana. We're surprised that industries are moving there. We're surprised that individuals are going there. We're surprised that the Ghanaian president has become the leading president in Africa. We are not investing in education and human capital. We have a 68% mismatch between graduate skills and job requirements. The major areas being IT, communication, and decision making. And the completion rate between entry into primary 1 and completing university is 8%. Out of every 100 children who go into primary 1, only 8 end up coming out of university. And out of those 8, 9%, which is about 1, will get a job. So this is the reality, in addition to what is happening globally. Now, digitization provides an opportunity to level the playing field if we are deliberate and if we shift from consumption to value creation. I made this point at last